Frankly speaking, I'm here now. Let's run it. Well, good evening to each and every one. Meet y'all mics, y'all. Good evening to each and every one of you who are here already. I pray your day has been well. I pray that you have been blessed all week long and that you're having a good night. Welcome to my show. I am Frank, host of Frankly Speaking. And for those of you, this is your first time. Welcome for the first time. Would you do me a favor? I need y'all to help me meet two things tonight. Number one, I need you to help me reach more people. The way you help me by reaching more people is by hitting that share button. If you're on Facebook, hit that share button. If you are on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe. The second way you can help me is by reaching my goals. I'm at about 1.56 subscribers, or 1,560 subscribers on YouTube. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to reach 2,000 by the end of the year, and I believe it can be done. Well, let's get started tonight. 2020 has been, without question, one heck of a year. And we've been so engulfed with disease and death all around us. Some of us have forgotten that even in the midst of all of this, we still have to do life. And one of the main areas of life for most people is having children. I said having them because it's easy for most of us to have them, but it's a whole other thing to be able to raise them. Good parenting for a lot of people is oftentimes an elusive goal to accomplish. That's even when everything is right. Both parents married to one another, doing all right financially, living good, eating good. Even for people that got all of that going on, good parenting, can still sometimes be elusive. Now, taking all of that into consideration, imagine trying to raise a child with someone you're not actually in the same house with. I'll take it a little step further. Imagine trying to raise a child with somebody you don't even really like. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. The struggles of co-parenting. The struggles of co-parenting. Put that in the comment section for me. That's what we're talking about tonight. The struggles of co-parenting. And I have some guests with me tonight that I believe is going to be fruitful to this conversation. I'll start to mine. He's on my left, I think. Carlton Lynch. Say what's up to the people. Tell them who you are, where you're from, what you do.
Carlton Lynch is my name. I pastor in Benton Harbor, Michigan. I'm the father of an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old.
All right, Carlton. Y'all see him with us together every Monday night on When the Right One Comes. So good to have him tonight. I'll skip down to the bottom. My sister Tashiana King, tell them who you are and what you do.
So I am Tashiana King. I'm a PK. I have two biological children, a boy and a girl. They're 6 and 9 years old. I have a bonus baby who is 19, and I'm an angel mom. That means I've had a miscarriage. And by profession, I am a real estate developer, but my passion is mothering. So that is who I am.
Your passion is mothering. Ain't that something? Then my brother down on the bottom. We all know him. He's been on my show already this season. He's the first guest to make a second appearance. In fact, y'all see him with me on Monday nights as well on When the Right One Comes. The one and only Pastor John Terry Tate. Just talk to the people. Tell them what you're doing
Oh,
tonight,
let
where
me
you at tonight. I know
let,
they
let,
know you.
yeah, let me say this. Let me say thank you for adding me on to this platform tonight. I'm just grateful to be on here with two pretty women. I'm tired of getting on these shows with all these men. I'm grateful just to be on here tonight with some women. And I'm Pastor John Terry State from Los Angeles, California. You know, I rep the Memphis, Tennessee all day long.
Yeah.
Born and raised the M Town 901. Listen, I'm thankful that you allow me to come and share my convictions of a struggling co-parent. I really appreciate it.
Listen, if you have not shared already, do me a favor, hit that share button. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good tonight. And then, last but not least, I saved her for last for a reason. She's the reason I was inspired to have this conversation on this topic tonight. Her name is Erica Burst. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself to you, tell her who she is, where she's from, and what she does, and then I come behind her. Come on, Erica.
Hello, world. My name is Erica Burris. I'm an author of two books. The first one is Bruised but Not Broken 10 Ways to Heal from a Broken Heart God's Way. My sophomore book is Let's Connect and Stop the Disrespect Co parenting in the Best Interest of the Child. My profession is I'm a certified medical biller and coder, and I am a mother of one girl. She'll be 14 in a couple of more weeks. And I'm glad to be here and give my unbiased opinion. And hopefully, it blesses someone. If I can just get one person to change their perspective on co parenting, then I've done my job for the night.
I think
You,
you're gonna help me tonight.
all right. So, yeah, these are all my guests. Thank y'all. Thank you for your time tonight, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being on. Frankly speaking, so Erica mentioned her book. Here it is. Let's connect and stop the disrespect. Y'all see that graphic? Y'all see it? Y'all see it? I've been reading. I've been reading through it this week, and it's an absolutely amazing book. I'm very impressed by it. I really believe that every person who is raising children with someone that they're not with, especially, should have this book in their hands as a guide to go by. So we're gonna get started tonight. Erica, in your book, you open up with this story about a lady named Clarice.
Yes.
It's funny. I'm so silly. I'm so silly, y'all. When I heard the name Clarice, I couldn't help but think about the dude on Hannibal. Hey Clarice. I could, I couldn't help but think about that guy there. But so the story of Clarice, to sum it up, Clarice, of course, she's a co-parent. She has a child with a man whom she's not with. And you, Erica, you can correct me if I get it wrong. She has a child now with a man who she's no longer with. She goes to the house to pick up the child, and when she goes in the house to pick up her child with the father, there is another woman sitting on the couch. Right? I got it right so far.
Yes.
Uh, Clarice gets upset because she has not been introduced to this woman. She don't know who this woman is. All she knows is this foreign woman is around her child with her father. So she gets upset, snatches her child, tells him, you can no longer see your child. You disrespectful. I can't believe you let this foreign woman around my child. And basically strips the man of his privileges of seeing this child. Do I get it right so far?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So that's how the book opened, y'all. It's juicy already. And I wanted to open up with that tonight because all of us know some Clarices.
Absolutely.
All of us know some women who are like, you better not have no another woman around my child. So let's just talk about that tonight. Eric, I'll let you open us up tonight with some of that. And let's dive into a Clarice type of situation.
Well, when I wrote my book, my mission was to give an unbiased opinion, an unbiased standpoint from a woman, and also where I could be relatable to both men and women. And my book is raw, uncut, and it's real.
Yeah.
Clarice goes over, and like Frank was saying, she's upset. She feels slighted because she feels as though her child's father should have introduced her to his now girlfriend. We all have seen this so many times. So if you read my book, the child suffers in the end. People always ask me, so who are you for? The team woman? Or are you with the team man? I say I'm for the team child. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not. I don't like to call myself a baby mom, but I have a child as well, so I co-parent as well. And at the end of the day, it's about the child. Take your personal feelings out of it. Take your personal feelings out of it. Stop thinking about who. I mean, of course, that's important. Of course, that's important for you to know who your child is around. But as you read in my book, it goes to explain as to why he did not um introduce them. Clarice had a temper. Clarice known to pop off and get it racking and get it popping. So
Yeah.
realistically speaking, a lot of men want to do that, but women, we have to ask ourselves, are we making it comfortable for that man to be able to open up? Are we setting the tone where we can co-parent in a way where he says, okay, well, I'm going to give you that much respect, but instead we slicing tires. We're saying, hey, I don't like her, and you don't even know her. And one thing we have to realize is that relationships, we all, sometimes it's a fling, but ultimately we want that white picket fence. We want to be able to say, hey, we're going to get married, we're going to raise our child together, but realistically speaking, life doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
And one thing we have to wrap around our minds is that when you're not with a person anymore, you don't control them. They can date who they want to date. They can be with who they want to be with. So that's one of the things that Clarice, she kept the child away from, and the child suffered.
Tashiana, hop on in here.
Well, I'm right with Erica in this. I was married for 7 years to the father of my children, and he is in a full-blown relationship, like living together. He moved back during the pandemic and said, hey, I've got a girlfriend. And I'm very clear that once your ex-partner, the co-parent, they choose to move on with your life, you don't get to determine what happens. I'm right with Erica on that. And so what I found is when I show my children that I'm okay, I'm in real time. My children are getting ready to go out of town with their father for Christmas. This is the first time that has ever happened. Because we do Christmases together. And I'm in the mode of saying, hey, you're going to have a great time. Your dad is going to want to be with you. You're guys going to have an awesome time. You get to see this in person. And they're not for it. Deep down inside, my heart is hurting. Okay. I don't want it to happen. If I'm very honest, I just don't. However, I am very clear on this. So I tell people, if I wasn't doing real estate, I would be a attorney. I would be an attorney, and I would practice family law advocating for dads. And so when I was married, we used to talk about this because my ex-husband has a wife from a previous relationship. Moms are not parent A and dads are parent B. I never knew that I would be in this situation. And I still believe that, although I am in this situation. And so I'll say it again if you didn't hear me. Moms, you are not the superior parent. There is no parent A and parent B. So, okay, I'm going to say it one more time. Mama.
You blessing the people. You blessing the people already.
I'm not real popular in hair salons, because when moms start talking about stuff, I say, look, y'all, they ask me my opinion. I say, look, I'm not real popular. Moms, you are not the superior parent. I want to be very clear in that. Okay. So dad has just as much right, privilege, openness, access to the children as you do. Right. And it didn't change because I became divorced. Look, my parents was like this till my daddy died. So I never thought I would be in this situation, but it still stands. And so for me, it's important that I cultivate the relationship with my children, because when I got divorced, my ex-husband moved out. I didn't like it, but it didn't matter because he was still the father to my children. My children still love him. They still honor him. So I had to say, oh yeah, daddy loves you, because they said, oh, he left us. We gave our children rights to be very outspoken. Daddy left us. I would never, and I'll tell moms this, don't let your children sit with those emotions. They're children. They can't process and understand that. Don't let them sit with that emotion. So when my kids will say, no, daddy is going away so that he can take care of us and love on us, it was still in us, even though it was just me, because that's how they knew us and understood us. So I'm right with Erica. Probably not popular. Y'all probably not going to like me and follow me. And that's okay. And I even asked my ex-husband to tune in tonight, because for me, it's an accountability thing. You know, people get on the internet and cap all day, every day. And we don't always get along and agree about things, but we're very clear that our children, that's what's important. I tell people all the time, this might be a little crass, Frank, so please forgive me. My kids knock on my uterus. They didn't knock on his scrotum sac and ask to be here. They are here. And so they don't get to suffer for our choices. We are no longer married, but we love our children very much. And this is my thing. I don't get to make choices for his life. It doesn't matter if I like or agree with his choice. You know, the best thing that I know of, even of the one, my kids have never come home and said that she is unkind to me. So regardless of what I feel personally, that's what I care about. Because I will tell y'all this, I set them both down and said, if something happens to my children on y'all watch, I'm going to get you. I'm an equal opportunist. Yep. I'm going to get you and I'm going to get her. But that's about my kids. Yep. Outside of personal decisions, baby, that's not my business. Look, Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
Listen, y'all, this is good. Listen, hit that share button right now. Tonight is gonna be epic. I got a feeling it's already been impactful. Erica said that she ain't team mama, she ain't team daddy, she right. Team child. Tashiana then turned around and said that mothers, you ain't parent A and daddy is parent B. You are not superior to the father. Y'all both have equal rights to that child. Wow. So, fellas, I'm gonna let y'all hop in here. Lynch, Tate, y'all hop in here right here on this.
Go ahead, Lynch.
Well, Sister King, I appreciate you tonight so much, and I see your ex-husband just made a comment.
Oh, did he?
And said, "I'm here," and I just want you to know I did not invite my ex-wife. So you already get the award tonight. She couldn't make it because everything that you're saying, Erica, and to you, it didn't work like that for me. And I think that it only works when you, to me, is when you have a successful breakup. See, if the breakup is not successful, I think people then begin to take advantage. And I'm going to say this, and I don't mean no harm. I would say women begin to take advantage because, as you said, Miss King, that moms, you don't have any right no more, but that's not what the white folks say downtown. So, unfortunately, guys that look like me and Frank, that sounds good. I wish I can give the judge, Erica, your book, and maybe he can reconsider some things that um, he put into motion years ago. I'm out of it now. My daughters are 18 and 16 years old, but I will say um, that we got to have a real conversation about not only from what the book says, but there's some brothers that's going to be watching this too, Frank, and they've been trying to see their children. I mean, everybody not a bad dad. There's some men that want to be involved, and the truth is this right here. I'll say this as a side note: you are right, Miss King, that it once the breakup happens, nobody's responsible for who dates who. But if the relationship and if the child, if we're going to be pro child, I think it's just respectful that we can at least bring each other in and let them know who's around their child. That's me. Now, I'm not trying to say you can't date them. I'm not trying to say you can't be with them. But I feel like if I am the man over that child's life, whether I'm in the house or out the house, I'm still the chief protector over that child. And I would be man enough to thank him for being under that roof in my absence to help raise my child. I would. But I think women, and I'm not attacking, don't take it. I can only give you by way of my experience. I think that some women takes advantage over the situation, as you must believe that too, Miss King, because you preference that in your opening remarks to women, to mothers, that you don't have no more responsibility than the man. That's that child's father.
That's right.
Tate.
I gotta say this tonight that I'm already overwhelmed and filled with joy because to hear this from two incredible women with a perspective like that, you don't see that, you don't hear that, and you don't feel that anymore. But these two have really shown us that it takes two mature individuals to make things work and make things happen. As Lynch said, let's be honest, some men are more capable, more financial, stable than some women are, and yet the courts rule in a mother's favor, and so we have to live with that, and yet try to cope with saying, how can I not go off on this individual when they don't do what is asked of them. Now, one thing I got to be truthful about, and this is my experience, and this is the truth. Women can become so controlling in this situation. And I've watched individuals and my friends go through that as the woman uses the child as ammunition to get back at him. And it is so sad. It is so sad that they use that. And you have to literally say, I don't know how I can take this. I don't know which direction I can go in it. So to see you all speak on that kind of thing, it's amazing. And with Frank and Carlton and my job, we have such a we can't just get on and just go off on people. Like just, sometimes we want to, and just say what we want to say to an individual and free ourselves from all the complications in our mind. because it'll be on somebody's show, it'll be on this, it'll be on that. Because first of all, the position that we hold. So we have to be grounded and rooted in respect and try to be as respectful as we can, yet being disrespected. And I looked at, I got to get the book. Matter of fact, I'm gonna order 2 copies because that's gonna be her Christmas gift this year. so we can read this because it needs to be that. And I think it's so important in this that we really understand where we are in the whole situation of co-parenting. I don't think a lot of us we get lost in it because you don't have a lady like Erica and a lady like Miss King who can come and sit down and understand you are not the superior one, but we work together. Yeah, even though
Yeah.
if you don't call the phone, I'm gonna call you to see what it is that we need to do to take care of the child.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so the consensus is amongst this panel, which is surprising to hear collectively, is that, and I promise we're not trying to attack you tonight, but the reality is, especially in our communities, is that our women, when it comes to situations like these, tend to care more about control than they do the child. That they
Mm,
say it's all about the child, but it's really about control. And so I'm glad we're dealing with it tonight. Let's get into some specific questions. We can talk on the intro all day, but let's get into some specific questions that I gathered from those who wanted to ask questions tonight. What's the best way for a father of a child to deal with a difficult mother of a child, or a difficult mother, a difficult a mother to deal with a difficult father of a child? How do you deal with difficult co-parents? How do you handle that situation?
I would say, for me personally, it's really at the end of the day, regardless if you're a man or a woman, it's really a hard check you have to do. It's the matter of your heart. What you do in life, I don't care where you go. Is your heart in the right place? Is your heart pure? Is your heart genuine? Have you forgiven? A lot of people have not forgiven, so therefore it blocks your blessings. You can't co-parent. You can't even look at this person as this is the mother of my child. This is the father of my child. I just don't like him or her because of what they've done to me. So
wow.
when you get to the point where you deal with your heart posture, and you deal with the matters that's going on in your heart, then you can learn how to deal with the mother of your father, the father of your child. See, the thing about it is, you can
Yeah.
say, I can tell you all day what to do. I can tell you, you can get my book and you can read it, and it can be a guide. But if you have not worked on the matters of your heart, if you
Yeah.
haven't said, you know what, God, I don't like what they did to me. Even a man, humble yourself, put your pride aside, and say, God, I don't like what she did to me. Yes, she's keeping my child from me. Yes, she's turned my child against me. But you know what? Show me how to deal with her. So you can listen to her. A therapist can tell you, hey, this is what you need to do from A, B, and C. You write down your feelings. No, you need to get down on your knees. You need to get down on
Wow.
your knees and say, God, show me, teach me. Forgiveness is how you deal with the mother of your child. Forgiveness is how you deal with the father of your child. Any of us can tell you what to do, what I've done. Oh, I've done this. We met at the police precinct. And at the end of the day, and so you can get down on your knees and say, God, help me to let this go. Help me to let the pain go. Help me to let the bitterness go. Help me to let the resentment go. We can tell you what to do, but if you're not willing to forgive, no matter what they've done, I didn't say act like nothing happened. What I said was forgive. And forgiveness is a gift that you give to yourself. It's not about
Yes.
them. You the one need the breakthrough, not them. So
Mm.
Yes.
I say how you deal with the mother and father your child is to deal with what's going on internally.
My
Wow.
That's
God.
how you deal with it. You deal with you first. A lot of times we pray, God change him, God get him, God
Woo!
get her. You know what they done. You see what they done. You need to out God sick them. get that car gonna eat them up. But it's like, you know what, God, while you praying that God change them, God doing something on you, on the inside of you. So you have to change the way you look at the situation in order to co-parent effectively.
Am I
Wow.
on?
Okay, I'm done. I'm sorry.
Look, was I
Go.
on? I was doing all that wooing and howing and
No, you were not.
I was. I'm learning how to navigate this, man. But Erica is so right. I got done telling somebody something today. And this is me, and I'm not trying to be churchy and deep, because the man that I married didn't have really a whole lot to do with the church. He just loved Jesus. I wanted somebody that didn't know about church politics and all of that, because I was a PK growing up. But I told them, when you get to praying and you be talking about, Lord, get him. For me, when I pray and I talk to the Lord, the first thing he shows me is me. Do you understand what I'm saying? He don't show me my ex-husband. He don't, and I just say that, and I only call him out because we're talking about co-parenting. He don't show me him.
Yeah.
He shows me Tashianta. That's what I say when I'm getting real serious about myself. That's what he shows me. And I have to say that, child, I'll be thinking I'm right, baby. We done counseling and personal development and all these kinds of things. And I do. And he will tell you, he's in the comments, y'all. Because I believe in, like I said, people cap all the time. I said, hey, I'm doing this. You want to get on? And I say to him, hey, what do you need from me to improve our co-parenting relationship? Because we don't always like what the other person is doing.
Yeah.
That's just real. We're not Jada and Will just yet. Now that's my goal. We say like, oh, we're gonna all go on vacation and blah blah blah. We not there yet. We almost there. But the main thing is, okay, what can I do? And this is my thing. I have committed, like, if our co-parenting relationship doesn't work, it's on me. And that doesn't free him of any of his responsibility. But I have to take this on as if it doesn't work as co-parents, that's my responsibility. And for me, it's very clear. Even in going through my divorce, I said, God, I don't want to be bitter. I don't want to be angry. And when I start getting in that space, child, you see my bed back there? Sometimes I got to sit right up in that bed and I have to say, God, I need you. I need you to help me right now in this moment. And as women, we have to be responsible for the choices that we make and what we're choosing to do. And I will say this while he's on here, and I tell him this, sometimes, he's a great dad. Simple as that. I don't care what I think about him as a husband. That don't have nothing to do with who he is as a father. And we have to learn to separate the two. Do you understand? My ex-husband moved to Canada shortly after our divorce as his ex-wife. I didn't like it and I didn't agree with it. As the mother of his children, my job was to not let my children sit with the thoughts and ideas that dad left us. He doesn't care about us. Nope. Dad went to Canada to make sure he could take care of you, and he loves you so much, because I know that is true. And we have to separate the two. So, and I'm saying this to you right now, and I've said this to you before, Charlestown, but I appreciate you. I honor you. I thank you for being the father that you are to our children. I'm so grateful that you are the person that I chose to have children with, because, this man lived out of the country and he would see our children at least 2 times a month, at least. And I would tell my kids when they would get in their feelings, and I said, you know what, mom and dad are so sorry. It was a we thing. I was speaking French then. We are so sorry that you are in this situation. But your father sees you more than some kids whose daddy live right here in Memphis. We're so sorry. I know this is new to you, but daddy loves you. You have to do that. You really,
man, look, y'all, listen. I'm encouraged tonight. I am encouraged tonight to hear literally these black queens speak from this perspective on this issue, because even what Tatiana just said, as far as separating him may not necessarily living up to his responsibilities as a good husband, it has not taken away from him as a good father. I've heard women say, all over the country that him failing as a good husband was him failing as a good father, that they go hand in hand. But to hear you separate that tonight was very interesting insight. Come on, man. Come on, Lance. Come on, take y'all hop in here.
Lynch, you want to go or you want me to go? Because let me tell you something. This is like therapy for me to hear this. And I think it's an amazing and incredible gesture to be able to applaud your father's children. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing about that, your children's father. So I'm saying I'm listening because so many times we don't receive that. I mean, I'm still waiting on it. Not saying that I'm looking for it, but the way that men express themselves, it can come off wrong, because if we express ourselves in any kind of way, if we start talking about relationships, if we start talking about what a person ought not do, what they should do, what a child shouldn't have to deal with, we're often labeled as bitter men. We mad because she ain't with us no more, or we hate her and all that. And we could just be speaking truth. And many times I've watched my friends and myself go through this, that you can feel like myself. I live in Los Angeles, California. My child lives in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's over 2,000 miles away. So I don't have the privilege to be with her on a daily basis. And the only thing, I thank God for COVID. COVID helped me to slow down, and I get a chance to kick it with her, and I try to kick it with her for a long amount of time. But then even in that co-parenting time, it is bombarded to say, all right, it's time to take her back home. And you saying, okay, I ain't got enough time. I need a little more time. I need her to know that you ain't got number one daddy. That I'm your dad. I'm going to be the greatest example, the greatest man you can ever look up to. Thank God for everybody else around you. I ain't mad about that. I'm good. But at the end of the day, you need to know your dad. And I think it's very careful. I think we have to be very careful of who we bring our child around, because when these children are 2 and 3, they suck up so much stuff. They absorb so much. And you got to have the right kind of attitude, the right kind of spirit in dealing with the other parent. And but Perry said something tonight. I'm gonna see if I can find it. Did you see it, Trey? Did you see what he said?
Yes, he said to compliment what. Yeah, there it is. To compliment what hurt you is maturity.
No, he talking
what
about.
Other?
No. About the anointed one thing. Did you see it?
Oh yeah.
So what do you do?
What do you do when your enemy is anointed as well?
But see, but that shows you right here. Miss King showed us that we got to still be able to compliment, even if it don't work. Even if can you still speak good of the other individual in front of your child?
Yeah.
Your job is not to turn the child against the other parent.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That blessed me. That she said, he going to work to make sure we all right.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. I'm like, and let me tell y'all something. You and Erica, it ain't many out there like y'all. So let's get that clear. Let's go set the ground rules right now.
They are anomaly, ain't it?
Oh my, y'all, let me tell you something. You ever heard this saying, say you're in the class all by yourself? That's true. Forget about that book you wrote. You in the class all by yourself. I'm telling you. And to hear this, I'm telling you, it's like, wow. It's really some real mature women out here who really understand.
And Lynch, before you talk tonight, I want us to be fair tonight, because oftentimes we talk about co-parenting from the perspective of two people who used to be together, who used to have a relationship, who were married and broke up, or who were in a serious relationship and they're no longer get together. Well, let me testify myself. I have a 3-year-old. I have a 3-year-old. She's precious. Love her. Have a 3-year-old, but we were not together. It was a hot night, and I was horny, and I let it go. I let the thing go, and just just being real, and the result of that, not having a relationship, there were no feelings involved, there was no dating involved. It was just a hot night, a hot horny night, and like I said, I let the thing go.
What kind of night was it?
A hot horny night, and so I let the thing go and end up having a beautiful baby girl, but there was no feelings involved. So we also want to speak tonight to those who have children with people they never been with, because on that end too, there can be a form of bitterness and a form of resentment on both ends, because I mean, how do you deal with that? Y'all speak to that tonight. How do you raise a child with somebody you've never been intimate with, you never dealt with on that level? How do you establish some things to make it work as co-parents?
Nobody's saying nothing, because I
don't know how that works.
See that?
I done seen my ex-husband in the comments talking about I feel you. So for me, like, there's a part of me that's kind of like laughing and kikiing, but from the perspective of my bonus baby, they don't know nothing about that. They don't know anything about you not loving mama like that, you loving daddy like that. And I remember, I never forget, I thought I was really doing something. I took my bonus baby to I don't know if y'all remember this. Carrie Hilson came to the Walmart here in Memphis, because I'm from Seattle. We moved to Memphis because I was raised, you go where your husband go. So we got here, and she ended up seeing her mother and her stepfather here, and she said, "Hey, mama, can I go hang out with them?" No problem. And everything that happened, she told me. Now she has never experienced her mother and father together in an intimate relationship. She told me, "Hey, mom, I just wish my mom and dad were together." Now I can't relate, because my mom and dad was like this till my father died in 2009. And I had to tell her, like, look, I understand, I get it, I love you so much, and I understand how that goes. Kids want their mom and dad to be together. That's natural. Even now, my son, Chad, he's something else. I call myself trying to date. He not for it. He'll tell somebody in a minute, I want mom and dad to be together. I'll be like, son, chill out. But for me, it's important to remember that that's all kids know. They know mama, they know daddy, and regardless of what has transpired between the two of y'all, they want y'all to be together for the most part. And so we have to be sensitive to that. That's really the only thing that I could say. You have to be sensitive to that, because they don't get it. They don't get that you had a hot, you was hot and ready like a little Caesar's pizza. They don't get that. They just, that's just, what it is. From my experience, we've got to be sensitive to where they are and how they see things. That's my contribution to that, because I don't know. I had my kids when I was in love and married. So
yeah, because I don't. Yeah, go ahead, Lynch.
I heard you.
I don't really know about that. but I will say, just on the conversation itself, somebody said in the comments that it was a brother, and I respect him. He said, "Man, I need to be on this platform because y'all ain't talking the real." And I was sitting there thinking, I text Tate a moment ago. I said, "Man, this conversation got me ready to cry." And because I think my situation at this point, Frank, I'll be honest with you, I ain't know what I was coming into tonight. We do these platforms all the time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done this because my kids are grown now, and I missed out on too many years because I was fighting. You,
Wow.
you see what I'm saying? And so so Tate had it right. In our position, we can't fight like somebody else can fight. You know, um, when I got my first church, um, Erica, we were a happy family. Everybody moved. Everybody was packing the U-Haul. First church. It wasn't number 40 people, Frank, but we was happy. You know, and when when the divorce happened, then it was I'm leaving, but we were happy together. See, one thing I never got into the business of is bashing my ex-wife to my child. I always lift her up. I'm the one that give them money to buy their parents gifts for birthday and for Christmas. You hear me?
That's right.
So I guess now, Erica, I needed your book 10 years ago, but I can buy it for the next. So I think I need a different therapy because me and my daughter just now getting back to the place where we even talking.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And can I say, Tate, that I was there at every band concert for Christmas? No. Can I say that I showed up when you graduated from the 5th grade to the 6th grade? No. Was it always my fault? No. I understand what Tate is saying, living in two different places.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that, yeah, this is a breath of fresh air to hear you all talk. Uh, Sister King, to have your ex-husband in the comment section. If my ex was in the comment, I'll be telling Frank, block him. You know what I'm saying? So what do we
Yeah.
do about that father that's on tonight and they got that 3 and 4 year old, you know what I mean, that can possibly end up to the point where I am? Because I'm pro dad now. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? I fight for my child. I'll drive those 4 hours, whatever, I have to do. My daughter, if I think they need something, it's done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
but but what do you do about Tate? How old is Carson Tate?
She's 2.
So what do you do? How do we? I want to just sit. Since Tate said he in therapy, well, I'm coming as a support system. I'm coming as support tonight because I'm done with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
done. But
Let me hop in there. Let me hop in there
yes, sir.
because Erica, tell me if I'm wrong. Tatiana, tell me if I'm wrong. But the reality about that is that most dads, most fathers don't really know their true rights. That because the stigma is, and because the stereotype is that juvenile court is so against them, we don't even really fully research what the law truly says. I've read it for
Hey,
myself.
Frank,
The new
nothing.
language, listen, the new language, as far as in Tennessee, it makes it clear that when that child is with you, they with you. That that other parent has no discretion or decision in your everyday activities when that child is not with you. That you have to, as a father, you have to be willing to familiarize yourself with what the law actually says and know your true rights as a dad. Tashiana, help me on that. I know you say you work with advocate for dads and in the law.
Yeah, so with my ex-husband, part of the reason why we moved to Memphis from Seattle is because he wanted to be close to his daughter. He did have a daughter from a college situation, right? And so everything was done that you could think of to keep my ex-husband from his daughter. Even to me getting punched in the eye when I was 6 months pregnant with our son. Okay. So oh yeah, don't you gotta look.
Wow. Wow. Did she cut out?
Come back.
Did she cut out from us?
Yeah, she cut out.
Well, I'm gonna
Wow.
stop.
Am I here? Can y'all see me?
Yeah, you had froze for a
Can you
minute.
see me?
Yeah, we see you now. But
Yeah, that's okay. Look, I can get real
you
not
freeze.
gonna
You
ride
free.
here. But even in that, right, was sure to be present. Because let me tell you something, like I said, even apart from our children, I commend him because most men, because they do not have the power like most women do. We have the children in our physical possession. So for most people, that gives us a one up, so to speak. And men don't generally just don't have that. In that regard, he just kept trying. He was very present. He refused to just, write a check. I mean, I seen this man write a check and send it when child support wouldn't take it out of his check anymore, right? So for me, anytime I hear a father that's like, I can't have access to it just hurts. It does. It really costs, and it just really hurts my heart. We got to a point with our bonus daughter when she said, hey, y'all went to such and such and I couldn't go. It really got to her father showing her documentation like, look, baby girl, this is where we reached out to you. And sometimes it just takes those honest, uncomfortable conversations. I can't really say when they're younger, because when they're younger, they can't really articulate. And so the mamas, I'm just saying mamas because that's my experience. The mamas keep them away in that regard. And so for us, in our experience, baby girl was older when we had to have those conversations to say, hey, look, this is what we did. These are times when we reached out. These are times when we called, and he's in oh, look at, and here he go telling me the kids need to get off Fortnite. I didn't know they was on Fortnite. They know I'm in my room held up. And I know this is kind of a random thing, but another thing that works for us is, even though we're in two different households and we have different ideas about certain things, we're real clear with our kids. You don't get to pit us against one another. If daddy say this at his house, this what goes on over here at this house. I know that's a side note, but I'm gonna tell you right now, because I don't always agree with him and he don't always agree with me.
Yeah.
He's more of a bad cop. I'm more of a, just let the kids. But I'm gonna put myself on mute and let y'all talk, and I'm gonna get them on Fortnite. But as it I am, because we honor that. That's just what it is. Like, daddy is daddy, and I don't care. He could be in Timbuktu. That is still your father. You understand what I'm saying? But in relation to that, when it comes to his oldest baby girl, she comes around now to him, and she'll come and hang out. But we had to have those conversations. Like, look, daddy asked, and we were told no. And so, I mean, my heart really goes out to you. I probably pray and cry in the spirit when we get off of this. I ain't even trying to be deep.
No, it's cool, but let me say this though to Frank.
Go ahead.
I hear you, honestly, I do. I hear you when it relates to the courts and the law, but I don't care what nobody say. If the mother and the father is not working together, somebody gonna lose in that courtroom. And I say that because, and she hit it just right. When the mother has, what do they call that? When the child stays um, with them, when the
Custodial rights.
custodian, yeah, when they're the custodian parent, it does something different. And you talking to some brothers that don't have money for attorneys and don't have all of that. I mean, I can get an attorney and all that, but but at that time, I couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
When we was going through it, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't afford that. I was trying to, I was just trying to fix it and trying to make it happen. So I hear you, and maybe there is something else different in Memphis that's working, but I just think personally that if that woman ain't willing to work, I just don't think it's gonna go in that brother's favor.
Well, let me say this.
What you think, Tate?
I'm gonna let Miss Erica speak, and
Oh,
then I'm gonna think about it. She said I'm what is it, Tashiana and Erica? They are my therapist tonight, and I'm gonna listen. I'm listening tonight. Go ahead,
Well,
Miss Erica.
I'm gonna speak on both ends. Far as you, Mr. Lynch, that is a very hurtful thing for a man to be denied the rights to his child. I always tell people, I always ask women these questions: Is he abusing your child? No. Is he? Do you feel like your child is in harm's way when he's with, or he or she is with his father? No. We just, it's no, other than that, it's no reason. Any woman that's listening to this tonight, if you are keeping your child from his or her father for your own selfish reasons, shame on you.
That's right.
Woe unto you, because what you're doing is you're not thinking about, okay, because at the end of the, even if he don't pay child support, even if he don't do what you feel like he should do, it goes back to control. He's still the child, and it's
Say that
not
again.
love, it's manipulation. You're manipulating, and you're manipulating the child because you're hurting, so you want the child to hurt. If you really truly love your child,
Right.
just think about it. If you really truly love your child, why would you do that? If you
Yeah.
say, I love my baby, that's my boo, that's little Ray Ray, you would know that child support is equal parenting. So for you, it's a lot, like even with men. Because I'm not gonna strictly be on the women. I'm gonna talk
Yeah.
about the men. Sometimes men do put, not no disrespect to anybody on
You're
this
true.
platform,
Go ahead.
but sometimes you have to
You're
make,
right.
you have to sometimes tell your mother of your child, hey, thank you. I mean, because somebody got to break the cycle. If
Yeah.
you bashing and he bashing and everybody bashing, somebody got to say, you know what? Because think about it, the child is not being abused. The child is being taken care of. Somebody is doing it. So whoever is doing it, why don't you put your pride aside and say, hey, thank you. Even if we get off this earth tonight, I encourage somebody, and it's not on no hanky panky stuff. Reach out to
Yeah.
your child's mother or father and say, I appreciate what you've done.
Yeah.
You be the change you want to see. Because if you constantly have this attitude and she constantly have this attitude, what are you doing? What
Yeah.
are we accomplishing? At the end of the day, the child needs thick, because children, they can sense when something is not right.
Yeah.
You can do whatever, but at the end of the day, like me, I use, a lot of people probably looking at me like, oh my God, this girl, she preaching, I was a better baby mama.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, me.
Wow.
Yeah, me. EB, Eric verse. I was, because at the point I did not know how to separate the two.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to separate the two. All I knew was hurt. I never kept my child away, but I was messy. I was messy. Oh, you're supposed to have her back at this time. What time is it? Okay. And it
Yeah.
was like, even if he brought it back an hour late, really, Erica, what who was that really hurting? Sometimes we have to ask ourselves that as women. The stuff that you complain about, do you really have to complain about it?
Yeah.
Every situation don't have to be addressed, and that's for men too. Because
Yeah.
I thought in my book, it wasn't just that you brought up Clarice, but it's another character, Roman, in my
Mm-hmm.
book.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman goes over to the mother of his child house. And you know how men, y'all nosy. It's an extra car out there. Who is this car? I need to see. Normally
Talk
you'll honk
about it.
that horn and not even pull up in the driveway. You be at the edge of the curb, honk the horn, and send the child out. But this time, Rumble decide, I'm gonna knock on the door.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna knock on the door, and so he knocks on the door, and the child mother come out, because I hate to say baby mama, his child's mother come out. And he, instead of losing his cool on his child's mother, he wait till the child get in the car.
Yeah.
Child, he strapped the child up. The child, hey daddy, hey. He drive off the street. He turn around. Who is that car? And the child answered, that's mom's boyfriend. Mom's boyfriend. How long he been over there? What is he doing?
Lord,
Why didn't you tell me? And the child instantly bust out and cried. See, that's abuse.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't know how to separate the two.
Yeah.
The child end up suffering because he didn't know how to handle that.
Yeah.
And he should have talked to the mother.
Yeah.
So,
And let's address tonight. These men whom, because you can no longer be with her,
Oh my God, let's talk about it.
you use that as a reasoning to not be there for your child. That's crazy. That's insane.
That's it.
That's not a man. That's a boy. That regardless of what transpires between you and her, regardless of you still wanting her, you should never use that as an excuse not to spend time with your child. That's just being real about it. That's just being frankly speaking about it. There are some men out here who no longer want anything to do with their children because they're not with the mama. And that's crazy to me. That's that's real feminine energy to me. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the men who are bitter, the men who are hurt, the men who use that as an excuse for that the mama ain't acting right. That you've got to be willing to disconnect that too. That has nothing, absolutely zero to do with you being there for your child.
I would say that when men do things like that, the people around him need to check him. Like, yeah, he needs to check himself first, but it's no way that I would be with a man, be in love with him, and see that he's doing that and still be with him. It's no way. Because that's when a good woman, that's why when God sends you that good woman and that good thing, she gonna not tell you what's always good. She gonna tell you stuff that you need to do and you need to hear. And she gonna tell you something to put you in proper alignment so you can get to the other side. So when men do things like that, because we've been talking about the women a lot, but the men, they do that. They do things and be spiteful, and it's like, okay, your mom, she got a new boyfriend. Oh, what's up with this cat? I don't like him. It's like, what? And half of the time, it be their fault. But you're mad. And it's like, at some point in time, you just need to, I always tell people to think about co-parenting. Mind your business. Focus on the child and don't worry about the other person's business. Don't worry about what the woman like what Carlton said. As respect, you should introduce the person you're dating to your child's father.
But they don't owe you that. They don't owe you that.
Right. They don't owe you that. But
they don't owe you that. They don't, Lynch. Lynch, they don't owe you that, Lynch. They don't owe you that.
Right.
I say,
yeah, go.
They do not owe you that. And I can say from experience, my ex-husband was, regardless of how it happened.
You freezing on us again, Tashiana.
Lord.
Tashiana, go out and come back in. Go out and come back in for us, please.
Frank, go ahead. What you say? They don't owe that?
They don't owe that like I don't know. I guess I'm different. Like I guess because those feelings were never there, so I can't speak from a place of we used to be together. I don't. Quite frankly, I don't
They
give a
don't owe
damn.
you that, but like just to keep confusion down, like to
Yeah,
keep confusion down. Like if you see this long term potentially
yeah,
being
yeah.
with somebody, then yeah, of course you just pay.
But see, to me, it's none of my business. Like it's none of my like when they're in your custody. That's on you. You're responsible for that. If abuse happens, you're responsible for that. You're going to jail for that. Like yes, I have a responsibility to protect my child, but also being realistic about the situation that we're not together. There's a certain level. Here's the thing that if we say all of us are Christians on the thing on this panel, if we say that the best way to parent children is being together, then we have to also accept that when we're not together, that we automatically have to relinquish a certain amount of control that we would normally have, and we have to be okay and put our big boy and big girl drawers on when it comes to certain things. And I just feel like being worried about who they're dating, who's around them every second is only going to cause frustration on both of y'all parts. So why even try to deal with that element of the relationship?
I need to kind of know, because if anything go left and my child is involved, I know who to bring the heat to.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm coming out the woodworks. Forget that pastor stuff. Forget that church. It's on and popping.
Yeah.
Because I ain't worried about who you lay up with, what you do with. That's your business.
Yeah.
But once that individual that has my blood in her feel uncomfortable, unwanted, it is then my responsibility as her daddy to be not just her provider,
Yeah.
but to be a protector.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say something. I'm going to handle it the best of my ability.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Church or no
Yeah.
church. So,
Yeah.
I ain't got to be, you ain't got to shake my hand. You ain't got to talk to me. I don't care about that. Because I clearly don't want to talk to y'all. I just want to know, is my baby all right? I am for the child. I ain't on the mama side. I ain't even on my side. I'm on the child side. What if she feels, if she can learn how to talk and say anything that doesn't feel right in my Holy Ghost spirit, y'all gonna have to come get me. Trey, I'm gonna tell you the safe is at the house to bail me out.
What I missed? I didn't got cut out. I let my phone, my computer die.
Okay,
but I know as it relates
with the host.
What you say? What you say?
They're freezing.
I'm freezing?
No, not you.
Oh.
Our host is freezing.
Is he? Oh, he sure is. He froze just like this with his hand at his mouth, huh?
Well, I guess I can take over. No, let me tell y'all something. I need to know who in that house. Hold on.
But you know, this was my thing, and this is something that I said before my ex-husband made it clear that he was going to have a girlfriend. He was talking about whatever he was talking about, and I was clear to him when I said, look, if you trust her, I trust her. You know, and that's the thing as moms, like, we don't have to approve their partners. We don't. That's not our.
I'm not saying approve.
Huh?
I'm not saying approve. I'm not saying approve. I'm saying that if we're working together, just like that book, I got that book picture in my mind that had the child in the middle,
right?
And they were holding hands. That means anything that's going to be attached to the child.
You so petty. I seen what you did there. But no, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying from a woman, a mom's perspective, because a lot of women, even in conversation, I hear them say, I don't like who, baby, you don't, let me tell you something. Here we go again. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. You don't have to like the partner. So unless you can show and prove that your child is in physical imminent danger, emotional imminent danger, you don't have to like and approve. Like your partner gets to like and choose who they like. And unfortunately, you've just got to trust the parent of your child. Now, depending on the dynamics of your relationship, hopefully you can have a relationship such that you can have a conversation, or they'll willingly want to come to you and say, hey, I'm choosing to get in a relationship with this person. They live in my home, or they're going to be around, and I want you to meet them. But they don't owe you that. They really don't. My ex-husband taught me something as it relates to his first daughter, which is you cannot protect children from their parents. And I'm not talking about, again, physical harm or imminent emotional harm, but the parent may have some patterns or behaviors that you may not like. It's different in my ex-husband's home than it is in my home. And my children may come home and say, Dad did X, Y, and Z. And initially when I heard that, I'll be honest, I wanted to call and say something. And I had a friend who said, look, you don't get to police his home because you're going to do things that are different. And then do you want him calling you, saying something to you about these types of things? Because the kid's not in harm. And they said kids are going to be kids. They're going to act in their best interest. You got to act in their best interest.
Yeah.
Child, I ain't never picked up my phone and ring my ex-husband at all.
Yeah. See, and I side with Tashiana on that because, like I said, Lynch, like I said, Erica, I just feel like it's a unnecessary point of contention, trying to be worried about who else is in that house. As long as they're with the parent, you can't police them from their parent. You can't keep them from their parents. So even if they don't tell you, they still have a right to do what they want to do. Like, even to the little small things. Like, I give an example. I'll be transparent tonight myself, since this is my show. Ava's mom texted me one night and said, you're public. Ava is not. I don't post Ava myself that much. Stop posting Ava that much. I said, who the hell you think you talking to? You don't run nothing in my house. I post whatever I want to post on my social media whenever I get ready. You ain't running a damn thing over here. So just little things like that can be unnecessary contention points. I just don't think that we should be worried about those little things. Okay, y'all go ahead.
Well, I don't think it's little. I think, Frank, in my opinion, and Ms. King, your ex-husband in the comments, and bro, hey, you my life coach, bro. I ain't got nothing to say. Just inbox me your number. I'll call you in the morning and we'll chop it up.
Yeah.
But I say that to say this, Frank. I think it's different when you're in the dating place. But I just believe that if you have somebody that's going to be over, and I'm teaching my child still to respect. I'm not coming in to try to set the rules for their house.
Yeah.
When I pull up and drop off my girlfriend at the time, they would jump out and greet her. You know what I mean? And let her know what happened during that visitation. So I don't understand why women so much hide in the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Especially if that's who you have deemed that's who you're going to be with. I just feel like if we're going to walk together, Erica, in that picture, I'm buying, how much those books? I'm going to buy some.
They're $10.
I know how to put my order in.
Okay, I'm going to buy 10.
You got to get some. Listen, everybody right now, I want you to order put in an order for Erica's book. Real talk. I feel like everybody should have this book.
That's right.
Every,
Ex-husband of my children. Go ahead and order. Order two. Go
everybody
ahead.
that's attempting to co-parent
It's
should
at
have this book.
ericaelverse.com. Erica, ERICA Verse,
Is there a
BURSE.com.
comment we can tag to put that up at some point, or can we tag? Can somebody put that in the comments and we tag it so we can put that up so we can see that?
Sure.
And ex-husband, go ahead and order some. Come on, ex-husband.
Go ahead. Listen, I want to do it justice, and I do want to ask some of the questions that I did receive. So let's get into some more specific questions, y'all.
What happened to Pastor Tate? So,
he had to step out. He had a leaders meeting
okay.
tonight that he had forgot about. So if we're still on, he's coming back. If not, he ain't. All right. Let's talk about let's talk about nosy grandparents. Grandparents.
Keep my mama out of this.
Grandparents who tried to control inadvertently or directly the goings and comings of the child. They're always in it. They always have something to say. How much rights does a grandparent really have when both of the parents are active? Let's talk about that.
I want to say, here's the thing. I'm old school. So I believe in honoring your mother and your father. However, it's limitations on that. It should be boundaries on that. My mother or my father should trust that I'm going to make the best decision for my child, and I'm not going to put them in harm's way. Now, if them voicing their opinion is bringing drama and confusion, then that's when the line should be drawn, because confusion is not of God. He's
That's
not
right.
the author of confusion. So if they're stirring up strife and they're stirring up mess, then of course they need to. It's a way you can say it respectfully, but grandparents, I'm not gonna say they don't have a say because it sounds so disrespectful, but honestly, everybody should stay in their lane. I guess if you really just want to be blunt and honest about it. Now, if they're coming from a place of love and concern, that's different. But if they're being messy, then it's up to the mother or the father to say, hey, Miss so-and-so, I appreciate your concern, but I think we're doing a good job of handling it. And that's how you kind of like brush them off you without being disrespectful.
Well, I'm going to add to that, because me and my mama is like this. And my mother lived in the home with us when we were married. Since my divorce, even, I've had to separate the two. I tell my mom all the time, sis, you couldn't be a co-parent. I tell her that. And if you see my ex-husband, his comment is, you can have love and concern and also be messy. While that may not be the intent, because I believe that my mother loves my children. I know she does, because she lets them do things that I could never get away with. But sometimes I have to tell her, and this is the words that I say to her, my children have two able-bodied parents, right? And unfortunately, but maybe fortunately, my mother could never relate to some of the things that I have to deal with, because her and my father was like this until they got married. She doesn't know what it's like to be a co-parent. She doesn't understand that. So certain things where she's like, that's what and I love my mama. Like, my mama, my best friend. And I think even in divorce, I've learned, like, some things I just can't tell my mom because she just doesn't get it. And for me, I'm going to defer to their father first, right? Yeah. If he's not able to, or whatever's going on, okay. But their father gets, kind of first say about what happens in certain situations.
Right.
And that can be challenging, for me, because I don't have like immediate siblings to kind of defer to or bounce things off of. But to me, there again, I go back to that. I'm not a superior parent. Like, their dad is just as important as I am. in that process.
Somebody else want to answer that, or are we moving on?
Yeah, no, that's
Okay.
real talk. Seriously, my mom is a boss. That's just who she is. Um, but and you said something else so true. My mom and dad, they've been together so long, so they don't know about separation and
Right.
weekend you with your dad. My mom, they ain't never experienced that.
Context is different.
Yeah, they never experienced that. And so my brother, not to put his business out there now, my mother wants to call me all the time and talk about because they going through a divorce. Well, I don't know why she want to stay, mama, because people get divorced now. It's 2020. Let that go. You know what I mean? Well, she just leave those kids with him. No, them her kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they don't understand. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of like you though, to Tatiana, that it's kind of like, mom, chill. You know what I mean? We got it. So I never really allowed my mother to get involved to the extreme. You know, you're gonna let them say what they say. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Because but going to the point of, you know, allowing her to cross, I never done that. But sometimes you can use grandmama to your advantage because because my ex, she may talk that stuff to me, but if mama say now, all right now, drop that baby off, you know what I mean? So sometimes I think it's pros and cons. I think we gotta be smart at balancing it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. The smart about balancing Lynch because let's be honest. As a status quo, black men tend to have, especially ones that are our age, between 28 and 40, tend to have overbearing mothers that we have. You on mute now, Nick, so I couldn't hear. But we tend to
Right.
have overbearing mothers that, let's be honest, have a tendency to kind of overstep
Yeah.
normally on our side. Now there are cases where the female also has an overbearing mother, but black men tend to have mothers who are still protective even when we're to a grown stage. So I do think we have to have a responsibility in saying, Mama, no, I got it. Let me deal with it. Let me handle it.
Mhm.
Like, cause you don't wanna I just feel like you wanna be the man in that case. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Yeah. All right. So Erica, did you want to answer this or can we move to the next question?
No,
Y'all, time is just flying. All right. Let's talk about this one. This one is very sensitive. I'm warning you now.
Oh my God.
All right. Y'all moved on. Now, let's say you're married to someone else. What right now should you allow the new parent, the bonus mom, the bonus dad, to have in disciplining that child, even though the other parent is still active? Does the new parent or the bonus parent have a right to discipline that child? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about
I'll
discipline.
go first.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I would have to say the bonus parent. I'm real big, like I go back to respect because I know that if I marry someone, I would want their child to respect me. However, I don't believe that the bonus mother or father should be have a right to physically whoop your child. Like, I just this just me. Now my thing is I'm going to instill in my child respect for the bonus mom or the bonus dad. But just going in saying, when I come home, oh, I beat that girl butt today. No. Especially when you're talking about a man hitting a girl. This
Right,
very
right.
sensitive. Now, like I said, I'm a big advocate of respect. I believe that kids, because in this generation, it takes a village. It does take a village to raise a child. However, you telling me, hey, I had to get on your daughter, I had to get on your son because X, Y, Z or whatever. And then and I will address it if it comes to where I need to physically put my hands on them. But just to say a step parent just be my child, but and because my thing is you don't know the motive. Sometimes people do things and they take advantage of their authority. They'll whoop your child, and it won't be coming from a good genuine place. So I feel like just far as the physical, you can beat my child, but here's the thing. It's all about how you handle it. Because if you have a problem with it, you shouldn't do it in front of the child because the child will take total advantage of it. You let set those ground rules in the beginning. Hey, we together. I love you. I respect you. I respect you as my wife, my husband. However, when it comes to the physical discipline, I would much rather handle that myself. Now, just saying, hey, you need to make sure you do those dishes, or hey, you finish your homework. That's cool, but just be my child. But no,
So this is a very different perspective. I won't say very, but it's probably different. So for me, at the point that you marry someone, and the reason why I say this is because when my mother married my father, he had children from a previous marriage. I married someone who had a child. And even with my mother, I mean, I've made posts about this. For me, I believe if you trust someone enough to pour into your children, love on them, give them gifts and all these things, you should trust them enough to correct and discipline your children. And maybe it's me because my children, my biological children, are 9 and almost 7, and I can count on my hands and probably not even fill up one who they've spent the night with and who they've been with. Okay. And so if I don't trust you to correct my children don't get to go with you, because I don't believe that my kids get the benefits and the perks of having a relationship with you of such, and they don't get the responsibility of honoring you and respect you. So if I don't respect, know you enough to discipline my children, you don't get to be around my children in that regard. I saw what my ex-husband said. If you don't trust them in that way, you shouldn't marry them. Unfortunately, I do agree. There has been a point when my kids have said, now she hasn't physically disciplined them in that regard, but my kids have said, this happened and, she did X, Y, and Z. And so my conversation with them is, what were you asked to do? What did you do? It never even had to become a conversation with, their father. So for me, in that regard, once their father chooses to marry somebody, for me, the way I see it, that is another person to love and lead my child. That is somebody else who's a part of their village. And I would expect that my ex-husband and his new wife would have a conversation about what discipline looks like. Because even when we were married, we didn't believe that we whip our children for everything. We do our best to have open, honest communication. It is the same thing. So from my perspective, if you want someone to love on your child, if they we don't, I don't know, but we also come from we didn't do a step parent. Like, that's a bonus mom. This is someone else extra, someone to add to the community of loving and leading you. And that's just different. Because I know I wouldn't, even my kids say like, oh, mom, you're going to marry somebody who love us, love God, and love you. That's right. I'm not going to marry someone who I wouldn't trust to discipline, take care of, and cover my children in my absence. That's just me personally.
Well,
Lance, you want okay, go ahead, Erica. You want to give redress?
I feel like you can get somebody can love your child and they can get all of the benefits from it. But when you're talking about a man, and most men, honestly, their hands big and all that stuff. So you talking about a man physically discipline your child, a girl. No, I don't. I mean, no, he'll have to wait till I get. That's just me. Especially now, a boy, that's a little different because they need more of a tougher love. But for a girl, and you talking about a man, taking a belt or whatever he may use to discipline her. No, I don't. No, I'm not. I don't agree with that.
Go ahead, Lance.
I would agree with you, Erica, 100%. I think that, see, I barely, because I'm a man, I barely put my hands on my daughters, because it's just a different way. Now, when they were 2 and 3, that little smack, that's one thing. Little pop on the butt, that's another thing. But a man just whooping my child, nah, that ain't gonna work. And I've been through that too, and my Erica was mainly because this dude, well, I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't gonna go there. I just say that's a no for me.
Okay, so
What about you?
I guess I'll reel the back end of this. It's a sensitive topic, but I'm one of logic, so I go through my line of questioning on this and see what are the answers to all of my questions. I have a daughter. Whenever her mama decides to get married or whatever, the questions become: if she's hungry, do I want him to feed her? Yes.
That's right.
If she's cold, do I want him to make sure she's warm? The answer is yes.
Yes.
If she needs money to get somewhere and I just happen to be out of reach, do I want him to give it to her? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
So when it comes to discipline, my answer cannot be no. If
Yeah.
if the set rules in that house is the response to transgressions is a whooping, then I have to be okay as a man, as her dad, as being submitted to the order of households. I cannot now become subjective when it comes to physical discipline. Now, if it becomes abuse, then we got a serious issue. Trust me, I'm from Orange Mound. I reside in Memphis, Tennessee. You're gonna have to see me if it's some other than just a whooping. If it turns into something else, you're gonna have to see me. But being realistic, if the answer is yes to all of those other things, then it has to be yes also to their form of discipline. I can't be subjective in it. That's just my thought. That's just my thought.
Frank,
Go ahead.
while I respect you,
I feel like that's how people the word of the Lord. We can't pick and choose. We can't do the smorgasbord doctrine. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want the Lord to love us and forgive us. And oh God, I don't want this over. I just don't believe in that, because I want someone to love my children, be there for my children. Because see, I never know what's gonna happen to me. That's always my thing. You see what I'm saying? And so, and as a mama in this situation, like, I never know. And this is something that I think about. If my ex-husband decides to marry this woman, I never know what type of relationship she'll have with my children, how they'll want to confide in her, what she will be able to pour into them, how they'll cling to her. So for me, it's like, I almost feel like, and I've been a bonus mama. So how dare I want her to love them, pour into them, be there for him, but you can't do no. Because for me, our relationship, if something happens, that I really feel like just don't work and it's disrespectful, my ex-husband know, and I done told her. Y'all know we're gonna have a conversation about it. And I trust him enough that he would never put our children in a situation where they're in harm's way. I just do. And if it's and I would hope the same on this. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not from Memphis. Daddy from North.
The only thing.
And listen, Erica, before y'all respond back, I know we on opposite. We angled perfectly on this screen because we on two opposite sides. Let me also add this, Lynch. But before you say something, Lynch, let me also add this. I also consider it if it were me. Consider yourself. At least you fall. I consider that if I had a stepdaughter myself and the mama told me, oh, yes, I want you to feed her.
That's right.
Oh, yes, I want you to take care of her. And all of a sudden you tell me when it comes to discipline, you trust me to do everything else. But when it comes to discipline, you don't trust me. You and her can get out of my house.
Okay. I mean, this
I'm
what
just saying.
Erica, please,
that's what this show
please,
is about.
Erica, please. First of
Uh,
all, Frank trying to talk and he
I
not
ain't
trying to
trying.
let me
I
in.
ain't trying, brother.
Listen, let me say something to Frank. We do this.
Come on.
Joe Manaway, you got it. I ain't trying to hear none of this. Right, you got it. Frank, I hear you, but the only
Yeah.
thing that I question, in all sincerity, you said that if I'm out of reach, I will want him. If she's cold, do I want? I don't want him to do anything.
See
That's
there.
not my responsibility.
See
That's
there.
her responsibility.
No, no,
I
no.
no, Frank, hold on. I don't have her there with him. The mom has
No, no,
him
no.
there with her.
That's the wrong perspective, Lynch.
No,
That's
Erica,
wrong,
you
Lynch.
think that's wrong? You can't
That's
make it. You
wrong.
can't
That's
make that.
wrong.
You
Well, no,
cannot make
now,
that my responsibility.
No, no, no. That's wrong,
no,
Lynch.
no,
Hell, you got to
no.
pay the bills. Hell, where's she there now?
No, that's wrong, Lynch. That's wrong, brother.
Now we was on the same page into that, but I mean, like the way that they broke it down, it does make a lot of sense. And that's the thing about when you do these type of things, you have to be willing to keep an open mind. Even though we starting off, like I still feel some type of way about it, but the way y'all broke it down, I'm woman enough to say, okay, well, you know what, that my perspective may need to be changed. And that's the thing about when you're growing and you're trying to be mature, you are not always right. We don't know everything. Even though I don't wrote a book, I don't know everything it is to be about being this phenomenal mom. I can just
Yeah.
only do what I can do. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good perspective the way you and Miss King broke it down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just something to consider. Listen, y'all, we are an hour and 40 minutes into this thing. If y'all tell me to stop right here, we will. If y'all want to go for another 15, we will. It's completely up to y'all. I see them asking for a part two in the comment section. I was gonna do something else next week, but if y'all want to do a part two next week, I'm open to it. I'm cutting off at 10 episodes, so my last episode for this season will be the last Wednesday in this month. And my grandfather will be my guest, the one and only Dr. Frank Ray Sr. So I'm gonna be one-on-one with the living legend. But y'all want to keep going for a few more minutes, or do we need to cut off?
I would rather us, come
I'm
back with
I'm
a
here
date
for it. I'm down for it.
and Tate can come back and all of that.
All right.
Yeah,
I saw where Tate asked for a part two as well.
Y'all want to come back next week?
I'll be more than happy.
Can't. But next week
But
we'll
my
have
kids
to
will
do.
be out of town with their daddy, so I'll be home by myself, y'all.
Next week we will have to do Wednesday instead of Thursday because Thursday is Christmas Eve, so it's a holiday. So we'll do Wednesday night instead of if y'all can, if we'll do
And your
part
people
two.
saying part two in the comments. I'm looking. They saying part two, part
I-
two, part two,
I-
part two.
Are y'all good for it?
I'm
Yeah, I'm
cool
cool.
with it.
All
I'm
right.
good with it.
So there it is. The first demand on Frankly Speaking for a part two. Y'all demanded in the comment section. So part two, we'll do part two next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central Time. Listen, do me a favor. If you are a follower of Frankly Speaking and you have been blessed at all by any of these conversations that I've done, do me a favor. Bless that cash app. I want you to sow. I want you to give and partner with me so I can keep on bringing you this good content. I try to bring it to you in excellence. You see all of this stuff in the background that costs money. Amen. To be able to do it in the way that I want to do it and bring it to you. So do me a favor. That cash app is up. You see the cash app sign, Frank Ray, and the number 3. The cash app sign, Frank Ray, the number 3. If you would tonight, I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna put a number on it. I just want you to give $10. Give $10 to that cash app tonight. So we can keep this thing going. I see y'all saying y'all tired in the comment section. Y'all want to come back next week. So we gonna do it. We gonna give the people what they want. We gonna give the people what they want, baby.
Yeah,
Y'all go
they want us
y'all
to
go
answer
get my
questions
book.
in the comments as well. So do you
Can I
have a
say something real quick, Frank?
comment?
And of course, get Erica's book. Make sure you go get that. Go ahead, Lynch.
if in all sincerity, I sow into this show. I think I may have missed a couple times.
No, you so, brother. Yes, you do.
But I try, even if I miss it. If we can get 40 people real quickly that can just drop $10 in that cash app, it's just 10. It's just 10. And if you'll do it, let's show the support tonight by stating it in the comment section so Frank will know right hand out who's supporting him tonight. There's 142 people just on the one platform alone. If we can get 30 to 40 people that will give tonight, he just asked for $10. I need you all to do it. I'm going to do it. And I'm also going to buy 10 books. So I'm $110. Hell, I don't know if I can come back. This show costs too much.
Yep, and I'm gonna go and I'm buying a book. I didn't ask my ex-husband to buy a book. He just put in the comments. He said we divorced. I don't control his finances. That's why I asked.
Okay. Mika, thank you. Teresa, thank you. Jessica, I need more of you. Type in real fast that you're gonna sow it tonight. Thank you all so much. Pastor Ray is doing an awesome job. This is it's real good, honestly. The conversation was dope. I appreciate both of y'all queens too for your help.
Man, this has been awesome tonight. Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for being with me here tonight on Frankly Speaking. I am grateful for your presence, and I look forward to seeing y'all again next week. Tashiana gonna have herself together. She gonna get this hair together and all of this stuff, and we're gonna be on point and ready for next week. I saw Tate in the comment section asking for a part 2 himself, so I'm looking forward to doing this thing again next week. Listen, as always, I pray that you are blessed. I pray that favor finds you wherever you go. I pray that you're protected from danger seen and unseen. I pray that no harm will come to you or nobody connected to you. I pray that not only shall your cup be filled, but your cup shall overflow with his goodness, his mercy, and his favor. May you lack nothing. And may you even be granted some of the desires of your heart. I believe that it is so in the name of Jesus, who we believe in, the one and only Father, Son, the Holy Ghost. It is so. We believe it in Jesus' name. Listen, good night, y'all. We'll see y'all again next week. Thank y'all. We signing off.
Bye, y'all.
All right.